Hey everybody, welcome in. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. Give me 1 second. I'm almost ready. I just gotta get something ready for y'all. I'm actually a little behind the 8 ball today. I got this stream ready, and right before I came on the air, I realized the gloves that I had purchased are too small. So I've got to make them. Oh, you can probably hear them. Unless NVIDIA broadcast is cutting out the sound. Hopefully, it is quite squeaky. Yeah, trying to get nitrile gloves on. Nitrile? Nitro? What are they called? Nitrile. Trying to get nitrile gloves on that are just too small is kind of very hard. So, just a minute here while I struggle with these gloves. What a great way to start the stream, huh, everybody? You get to watch me struggle. Struggle and be sad. Oh, look at my sad face. Sad because I bought the wrong size gloves. That was very silly of me. But I corrected the error. I have proper size gloves on the way. How's everyone's weekend been so far? Why don't you tell me in chat? We'll talk about while we wait. Whoops, one of the gloves exploded. Oh no. Oh, I feel so silly. I can't believe I got the wrong size gloves. Oh boy. You know, riveting television, riveting internet content. Listening to a VTuber struggle to get a pair of gloves on. That's got to go down in history as one of the most original Twitch events ever. Reminds me of RT Games' paint dry stream. You know, who didn't RT Game like pull like some insane amount of viewers just for a stream where they literally watched a video of paint drying? That's pretty amazing, actually. I haven't been to an RT Game stream in a very long time. I should see what he's been up to. This delayed start brought to you by RT Game. No, I'm kidding. Wouldn't that be wild if you could get another streamer to like advertise for you? Like sponsorships do? That'd be really weird. Kind of I should go visit that timeline, see how that turns out. All right, there we go. Are you ready, chat? Are you ready to get started? I'm super ready. I should probably move my microphone a little closer. It's kind of in a weird spot. Oh, there we go. That probably sounds better too for y'all. All right, everyone. I'm super excited to debut my repair stream setup. Ta-da! Behold. Ooh, floating hands. Look at my cosmic floaty hands. Isn't that neat, chat? Isn't that super cool? I'm super excited to bring this to you. But this is something I think is pretty awesome. So I've got this microscope. Yeah, I'm doing a green screen. So I've got a green long sleeve shirt on, and then I've got a cool pattern behind my desk's camera feed, and that's how it's doing the cool effect. I think it's pretty neat. I think it's I don't like to brag, but I think that's a pretty cool idea. But hey, check this out. So I've got this very dusty microphone. Actually, I need to get a new one because this one I can't send it out to chat to see. But check this out. Let's see. Just gotta wait for it to connect. Let's see. Are we gonna cooperate? OBS doesn't like this particular camera either. 1 second. It's supposed to reload it when I turn it on and off, but it's not working. Hold on a second. There we go. And refresh it. So check this out. So I got this little microscope here, and so I can show you guys something cool on the piece we're working on. Like I can point out, like, hey, we're gonna be fixing this little chip right here. Yeah, see, check this out. This little chip. But there's a problem. If you notice, I can't actually see what's on the microscope itself. So I gotta look and see if there's any digital microscopes out here that can go to both to the screen here. You know, so I can see it at the same time that you guys are seeing it. Otherwise, I need to turn it off, unplug it. Cable over there, and then I can see what's going on. And of course it turned itself off right when I did that. This was a pretty affordable microscope. Oh yeah, good luck with rebuilding the wall. That sounds pretty involved. But yeah, having one of these digital microscopes is really handy. It's super cool, especially for doing repairs on things like Game Boy Advance SP. Set that over there for now. All right, so I figured we'd start just kind of a little tour of my work area here. Yeah, you can see how the gloves are too small. You can see how it doesn't quite fit on my fingers. Oh yeah, GBA advanced game that I purchased recently. Pokemon Pinball, which I actually repaired recently. I forget what was wrong with it. I think maybe the motor just wasn't, one of the wires was disconnected. Here is another GBA SP. This I had all ready to go. I had this cool wood finish on the top. Had the screen installed and everything ready to go, but it is just, it doesn't load cartridges. Some of the mods that I tried building for it, so here's a big mess. So this is a headphone jack, and I had built I built it out so that it could, like this, plug into the side, and you could use a actual plug-in headphones for it if you didn't want to use Bluetooth. Also, I installed Bluetooth in this thing, believe it or not. That's what a lot of these wires are going to. But this one was just a failure in the end, and I think it has to do with the motherboard. So I got another Game Boy SP, the one you guys have already been looking at, and then I got this one. This one almost works. I think, let's see. I think the shoulder buttons are broken. Oh yeah, and I have a regular Game Boy game to test the Game Boy functionality. Let's see. Let's turn this one on and see how far it gets. Let's see, is the battery dead? Hey! Came on first try. Ooh. Oh. Oh no. Oh, the sound. I don't know if you can picking up game, but yeah, it froze. So yeah, this one's pretty bad too. So I had also replaced the screen on this one. Added a Bluetooth. Did I add the Bluetooth to this one? No, I didn't add Bluetooth to this one. I replaced the shell, obviously. IPS screen, new battery, USB-C charging. But yeah, I think this one also won't even turn on regular Game Boy games at all. Let's see. Oh, it almost works. Oh yeah, so you see, I don't know if you can see that the distorted Game Boy logo. That Game Boy logo is distorted. You know the game's already failed to load. So oh yeah, I think with this one, was this the one where I had to replace the lights on it? Oh yeah, so there's these little LEDs on the side. This one, the LEDs have been broken off, so I had to buy tiny little LEDs and put them on. So fun stuff. Been through a lot. The finish? Are you talking about the gold? Let's go. On this one. I like the gold. Actually, I did buy, since I figured I would just start over completely. Oh, the wood. Yeah, the little wood decal on the top. I think this is super cool with the Triforce and stuff. My entire reason for putting this project together kind of was inspired by, I picked up a copy of Game Boy, the Game Boy Zelda game, Link's Awakening, the DX version, the Game Boy Color version, I should say. And so I had this really great idea that instead of getting a Game Boy Color, since I had a really cool Game Boy to start with, I would just get a Game Boy Advance SP, because I didn't have a Game Boy Advance, and a good friend of mine, who's one of the VIPs of our channel, Null and Void, suggested I try out the Game Boy Advance SP, and I really liked it because it's really portable. Get one that's a little more put together. You can see here, they're really tiny. They're easy to carry around, and if you modernize it, you know, with USB-C charging, and what else? Bluetooth, which I did not install Bluetooth module on this one. I think it was because it was just too much of a pain. Because getting the problem with the Bluetooth module is it's always on, and I wanted a way to turn it on and off. So I've got just my workbench is littered with trash, but I've done all these things. Like I built this little switch here. I have like spare parts in one of these. Ah no, dropped them. See these two switches here. It's what it started like, and what it ended up as. But it, you know, getting all the connections to stay on was hard, and the Game Boy Advance SP is like so packed with stuff. It's like really hard to get these in here, even this cut down one. Where's I had a failed mod over here somewhere in this pile of, to my left, I just have a giant pile of like failures. Oh, actually, you can see here, I got a different switch in this one to turn the, it's a very teeny tiny little switch, to try to turn the Bluetooth module on and off. But it never really worked correctly, and it's kind of in there in a janky way. So, what my idea is, oh yeah, open this. So my idea is I'm just going to take all the Game Boy Advance SPs I have, which is 3 of them at this point, and try to make one in another gold case. So I went ahead and ordered another one of these gold finished cases, so it's nice and pretty without holes in it that I've cut and dug. And of course, it's got a bunch of other parts in there. We'll worry about that later. So I want to get first we get a working Game Boy Advance SP motherboard, and that's gonna be tough because I don't know if any of these motherboards are actually working or salvageable. Like you saw this other one, it acts like it's gonna work, and then as soon as the game starts to load, it explodes. And this is the one I thought, like, this was my backup one. So after that other one failed, I tried getting this one put together and set up, but again, I got it all the way to where I liked it, and it just won't load games. So probably something wrong with the motherboard. All of these motherboards, by the way, I found out have some kind of water damage on them before I got a hold of them. So they might just not be salvageable. I might just have to buy an already working, either known good motherboard or known good working system. But actually, here we are. I had a known good working system here, which I had pulled the motherboard out of, and I don't remember which one of if it's this motherboard down here or if it's one of those two. But this was a working system when I bought it, and then when I got it home, because I bought it at a convention, got it home. It was actually a really good price too. I was shocked at how cheap it was, and I think I figured that out when I got home. I got home and it stopped working. Oh, the SP looks like the Nintendo controller. Yeah, you know, actually, you can still find those. And even if you just get a working SP, there's a lot of places that make that case, like third party. So you can always do a case swap if that's ever something that interests you, Anubis. It's an option for you, which is cool. Actually, the thing I found is there's a ton of places that sell cases and spare parts and things, or not spare parts, but cases at least. Which I don't know. I thought it's pretty rad. But so is this the one? So I think this might be my latest project board. Because if you notice, the buttons are new on it. I don't know if y'all can see that on the camera. But these are new buttons. They click. They're nice. I just soldered them in place. So we had these old buttons, the original buttons, which you can see are kind of a little gray color. And they weren't working. And I put these ones on. Let's see. And I think this is all working now. I need to check on a few things with this board though. It's I haven't worked on any of these boards since I started streaming. Oh right, this is what's wrong with this one. So the volume slider got broken. You can see it's a little sticky. It kind of sticks a little. I don't know if it has working sound. I might have to just completely remove it and replace it, but let's see. Oh yeah, and this one also has dead shoulder buttons. If you squeeze on these shoulder buttons, you can just feel oh no, my stream stopped there for a second. Oh, that was weird. My stream like started buffering on my Oh yeah, is the autofocus not doing it? So I thought I would do manual focus, but my camera's so sensitive that even if I pick something up like this, it just gets out of from here to here. It changes the focus so much that manual focus just wasn't working. So I put it back on autofocus. I hope it behaves. You didn't see the interruption? Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad. So, let's see. What's the status of this one? I need to look. Let's see. Wait, is this the volume button? What's this button? Well, let me look at my put together one. Let's see. Power. Let's see. Let's get the orientation right. Okay. Oh, this is the power switch. Oh, that's important. So this one's power switch is all sticky and weird. Oh, this one also has another problem. This there's a little blob of solder right there. Because I had to reattach this entire battery piece. It was broken off. Like when I took it apart, I took the thing apart and there was a little piece of plastic rattling around. I was like, "What's that?" Oh, it's the battery hookup for the board. See. Oh, in case you haven't seen the inside of a Game Boy SP, I can show you guys a couple things. So, in the cartridge slot that's right here, this is where the games go. There's a little lever right here. And when that gets flipped down, it tells the system that there's a regular Game Boy game in it. So you can play your old regular Game Boy games. That's how it knows that you've put one in there. So like this Mega Man, you can see when it goes in, it flips that little switch. But when Castlevania goes in, that switch gets missed. Because the little carve-outs here on the side. Just completely bypasses that little switch. So I thought that was a pretty neat little tidbit that I found when I started fixing these guys up. So what all can we do other than oh yay, thank you for the head pads. Let's go. drink some drink. What all can we do? Well, we can modify, customize, repair all sorts of systems. Have all kinds of fun doing that stuff. To show you guys I actually can do this. This isn't just some wild, crazy person on the internet. I mean, that may also be true, but here's my my carry-around Game Boy. I've got USB-C charging. I installed Bluetooth. Here's my pairing button I installed. A very tiny little pairing button. And this turns the onboard audio on and off, this switch that I added. Let's see. To go along with that USB-C charging, I have a little kit I bought that does the charging and has, it's kind of hard to see, but it's underneath here at this board, lithium-ion battery, which has a insane battery life considering how much the Game Boy just sips power. Like, just, I mean, yeah, I could probably charge this battery to full and play this thing for 60 hours. But that's just a guess. I don't actually know how long it lasts, but I mean, a long time, I'm pretty sure, because, gosh, I remember the Game Boy on the actual AA's would play for forever. It seemed like 30 hours, 60 hours, 100 hours, something like that. And that was on the before they had the what was it, the alkaline batteries, when it was just the old school batteries back in the 80s. It lasted forever, and then when they had the alkaline batteries, it just could go forever. But let's prove it works. Oh, do I have the volume? Now, let's see. Did I have it on Bluetooth mode? Nope, the light's not. There it goes. I don't know if you can hear the Tetris theme. Play some Tetris. Where's Coopsworth when you need him? Probably come laugh at my bad Tetris play on OG. I actually was playing this the other day thinking about Coopsworth being like, man, I need a rematch. He totally destroyed me so bad last time we played. And I feel still embarrassed about that to this day. Coop's so humble too. He doesn't think he's really that great, but I think he's super awesome, especially at Tetris. Okay, come on. Hey, you gotta start giving me some. Oh, that was a mistake. There we go. Whee! Okay. Enough of that. But yeah, I love this Game Boy. You can see it's got the bright. Oh, actually, I'll show you all some other cool features of this Game Boy. The screen kit that I have put in this has this wheel menu you can press to change the color palettes. So I have all these different color patterns programmed in. I like to play with black and white when I'm playing Tetris, but like when I play Metroid, I like to use like red and black, and you know, just other games I like to flip them through. And it's customizable if you hold the button down. So this is the contrast wheel, and what's really clever, so this screen kit replaces the contrast button because you don't need a contrast button on IPS screen. You hold this button down and it gives you an on-screen menu where you can go and change options and stuff, which I thought was pretty rad. Put this game away. Oh yeah, the Zelda game I was telling you about, Link's Awakening DX. So this has an extra dungeon and some cool other features if you play it on a Game Boy Color or better. I don't have a Game Boy Color. I just have my regular Game Boy that I've modded to all heck and back. So when I got this, I was like, man, I really need a Game Boy Color. But again, like I was saying, someone convinced me why go for Game Boy Color, which is just a color Game Boy, when you can play on like a Game Boy Advance and play all the Game Boy Advance games plus all the Game Boy Color games. So, I mean, how can I say no to that? Right? Oh, also, real quick, while we're showing things off, I'm going to show you guys something really, really special. I'll show you two cool things. First, I have a working Game Boy printer. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I thought maybe one day I'd take it to a gaming convention and take pictures of people with my working Game Boy camera, which I also have around here somewhere. And this guy, a Game Boy Light. So this is a regular Game Boy in the Game Boy Pocket form factor I think it was after the Game Boy Pocket launch, but before the Game Boy Color, that has a backlight. But I don't actually have two AA batteries laying around. I usually keep two of them over next to it. So I have it up on a little display, and I usually keep the batteries behind the display, so if I ever want to play it, I can just grab it and go. Because you never want to leave batteries in something. I don't know where the batteries are. So I'll have to grab some batteries. Maybe when we go on break, I'll grab some batteries and I can show you guys what it does. But it's a pretty cool little system. It's got this kind of blue LED light. Kind of like, if you've ever seen those old watches that have the backlights where you push a button and it lights up. And it lights up like blue, green, like this kind of bluish, teal almost color. That's the same technology that's behind that powers this light. Let's see. Oh yeah, so besides fixing things and modifying things and upgrading things, which we can do a lot of, I've actually got 3 broken Super Nintendos, a broken PS2, a couple games that don't work laying around somewhere. But there's something else I'm really into that we could do now. Gunpla. I love Gunpla. I don't get a lot of time to do Gunpla, but I've got all kinds of Gunpla from that's queued up to go. Anything from this super deformed Sazabi. All the way up to this master grade Sazabi. I can't even get it on the desk, it's so big. Yeah, this thing's giant. I cannot wait to build it. So maybe that'll be some future stream ideas. But yeah, that's the tour. You know, just got a bunch of tools here. Multimeter, soldering iron, hot air gun. I have a benchtop power supply, but I think I exploded it somehow. Because every time I turn it on, it has the overcurrent protection warning. And I went through the manual, and so what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to trip the overcurrent protection, and then, like, when you turn it off and back on again, it goes back to normal, so you can keep using it. But it doesn't. It just stays in overcurrent protection and it won't work. So I might have to get a new one, which is unfortunate. I've got an exhaust little vent thing for when we're soldering, so I might have to mute my mic when we run that thing, because it is very loud. but useful. It keeps the bad smoke away. And we don't want to be inhaling the bad smoke. The bad smoke is bad. Let's see. Other than that, there's a bunch of garbage everywhere. I need to get a component tester because I have a bunch of these capacitors laying around that I don't remember where they came from. They don't look damaged. I think I cut them off something, like I was salvaging them. Let's see, what are they? They are GemCon? Oh, I don't remember if how good are GemCon capacitors? Are they good? I don't remember. Let's see. 47 microfarad, 16 volts. What are these guys? A couple of them. I wish I remembered where I got these from. They look like they're in real good shape, though. Like, physically, they look good. Like, I don't know if this will focus, but you can see, like, they aren't bulging on the top or anything. Like, they look fine. Come on, autofocus. Oh well. We'll have to do that. We'll get a component tester and try testing those out and see if they're any good. I've got old components and stuff laying around on this desk that we can. I've got an old Corsair mouse we can use to either repair for extra parts. I've got a bunch of Gunpla supplies and tools. Of course, like any internet person, I've got an iFixit toolkit. Because, I mean, apparently iFixit is just the toolkit of everyone on the internet. But, I mean, they make good tools. I've actually been super happy with my iFixit toolkit. Not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored. Also, side note, if anyone from iFixit's out there and wants to sponsor me, I will take a sponsor deal with like that I would not turn down iFixit. I think they make a good product. And I would be more than willing to talk about that in detail if they would help support the stream. But yeah, where do we get started? What do we do? Where do we begin? Well, got this board here and a bunch of... I should put these somewhere like a baggie. Which I happen to have a lot of. So whenever I buy or when I buy components, they usually come in these little baggies. I just keep the baggies because they're very useful. I got this organizer on my desk, like a big shelf with these little plastic trays. And so I'll take them out and I'll throw them in these trays. So I got a bunch of capacitors and stuff over here. Actually, I don't have a ton of stuff. Mostly capacitors, some resistors. You know, kind of your basic stuff. I don't have anything super specialized. Like some shops have, like, you know, PNP. What are they? The little 3-pin PNP. What are they? Transistors? Resistors? I forget. Diodes. Actually, I don't even think I have any diodes over there, do I? I think I have some diodes. But anyways, I need to expand my collection of little spare parts, especially if we're going to be doing repairs on stream. Nothing like getting halfway through a repair and then being like, oops, I need this particular part and I don't have it. See you next time. Stream end early. That would be sad. That would be sad. No one wants that. Let's see. I think it's loud. I'm going to turn that down a bit. Let me know if that's too low or too high, chat. To be tested capacitors. Oh yeah, what do I have here? What's this chip? Oh. Now this is a story. So this little chip here is a sound chip from a Sega Genesis. or sorry, not a sound chip, a video chip from a Sega Genesis Model 2. It's fine, it's working. It's just sitting on my desk because I took it out of a Sega Genesis that I sent to a friend of mine because this chip doesn't support S-Video. And I'm a big fan of S-Video over SCART. Because SCART is a monster. I hate how big the connectors are. That's a SCART connector. I mean, this is kind of a broken SCART connector that this came as like some kind of weird converter thing that went from SCART to S-Video, I think. But, I mean, look at this chonker. I mean, it's like 3 fingers wide and like a pinky thick. Yeah, we're gonna measure things in fingers here. That'll be our unit of measure for this channel. Fingers. The fingies scale. I just hate these things. Don't get me wrong, like RGB, like pure RGB looks so good. Yeah, let's go fingies. You know, pure RGB looks so good, but it's just, I don't know. I think S-Video looks just as good. Like side by side, if you take a still image of, you know, you've got RGB over here through like something like SCART or composite cables, which actually I do prefer composite cables over SCART, even though it's more cables. They're just easier to deal with. But so if you had SCART over here and you had S-Video over here side by side with the still image, yeah, you could tell the difference. But once you have them in motion, and I've got SCART connectors, by the way. I've done this just for my own satisfaction. I have S-Video SCART cables. You know, so I've done, you know, looking at Link to the Past on SCART and on SCART and on S-Video side by side, and I can see it if I stand still, but when I'm playing the game and everything's in motion and the sprites are moving around, I can't tell the difference. So I feel like for your money, because a lot of the SCART stuff is super expensive because in the United States it wasn't available, it's mostly in Europe, so not only do you have to buy used stuff, not only do you have to buy used stuff that's no longer being made anymore that's in, you know, demand, but also you have to get it from across the sea, you know, depending on where you are, obviously. So long story short, this little guy was in a Sega Genesis Model 2. I think it's made by Samsung. Who makes this little chip? I forget. SKA2195D. I think it's Samsung. But anyways, it's a knockoff of a Sony chip that was much more expensive and had better features. Like, for example, it could do S-Video out. But you might be surprised to learn that even though S-Video looked better, it wasn't super popular. Everyone basically just used RF back in the day. You know, from everything I've read, people just, not a lot of TV supported those higher quality formats or plugs. And so everyone just used the lowest, you know, whatever the best thing was for their TV, which was RF in the most case. So, you know, it wasn't very in demand. So Sega, when they, you know, took notice and started selling Sega Genesis with cheaper chips that did less. So I wasn't going to have that. So I took this thing out and I replaced it with the same Sony chip, the video chip, but for, what was it, a Commodore 64, I think? Same model chip, but like one revision above what they used in the Sega Genesis. But took it, yeah, got one that was destined for a Commodore 64, put it in a Sega Genesis, rewired the whole board, because not only was it the wrong chip, but it was also missing like some supporting circuitry. So I had to build like a little circuit board, which I've actually got spare circuit boards over there, like project circuit boards. So I had to build a little custom circuit to replace all the missing circuitry that supported the S-Video features on the chip. Then, of course, I had to add an S video to the Sega Genesis itself, which that was a whole fun exercise in structural engineering. Yeah, I need to stop using a Dremel to cut plastic because it goes way too fast and just melts it. And use something like I have a scroll saw. Or not a scroll saw. I have a coping saw, like a little hand coping saw. I should just use that. But you know. Also, you like how I talk with my finger or with my hands, chat? It's not good enough that I have just my avatar on screen. I have to I have to play with my tools. I don't have ADHD. You have ADHD. Shut up. No, we all know I have ADHD. Gosh, all these little legs that I cut off of parts. I feel really bad. I really need to clean this whole desk up. It's just so hard to keep stuff clean over here because projects are always coming and going. Spelling everyone on the ATT train. That's right. Exactly. All right. So, where to begin? Well, let's see. I need shoulder buttons because these shoulder buttons are totally broken. And I need to inspect this thing's processor. But we might start with this one, take it apart, and see if we can get it working from its current state. Kind of like that idea. Because I think this is one of the ones that has like a... so maybe I can show you this on the microscope, actually. Get the microscope out here. Then... Oh, funny story. So I saw another streamer got one of these and was mad because it didn't work. It didn't look right. Also, you can see how melted and gross this thing is because I solder on it all the time, so the plastic's got melted. But here, put something on here so you can see it zooms in. You know, it's a microscope. Looks pretty nice. Now it doesn't look so nice, does it? Because it has a cap on it. Has like a little removable lens cap that but it's clear, right? So you can still kind of see through it, but it's, you know, it's not meant to be seen through. So I watched in horrors a streamer was trying to use it without the cap on, with the cap on it. Let's see. So this is the CPU for the Game Boy Advance SP. This little ARM CPU. And if we look over here, let's see. Yeah, I gotta like wait on the stream to catch up with me. So I can kind of see where we're at. Somewhere in here. So let me see if I can get even zoomed in further. Get down in there. So I suspect somewhere in here, in this region, there's a loose pin. One of these pins, I think, is like loose or messed up somehow on this board. And I think that's a flaw on all the boards. Like, it's like there's like a loose bit somewhere. Like one of these traces is not down on the board. So one of the things I might end up having to do is hot air station, a hot air gun to remove the CPU entirely and inspect the traces underneath. The traces, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, they're just the little metal connections that go between all the parts here that are built into the circuit board. So like this little light green area here is a trace, and it goes, I think this is a power plane, and so it just carries the signals or power, whatever, through it to the next component. And so what can happen when a board gets like corroded, or there's damage, or there's stress, like if the board gets bent, it can cause these little connections to get lifted off the board, because what they are is they're copper. They're just little pieces of copper that are sort of just glued to the silicon or embedded into the silicon chemically, and then covered with a little bit of resin to help give it structure and protect it from shorts or things falling on it and shorting it out. But they can get ripped off pretty easily, so that'll be a pretty common thing. You'll get some broken something, you'll open it up, you'll go to fix it, and you'll notice like the reason it isn't working because like a little connector from like here to here just is missing or corroded. So you have to like run a wire, or put a little dab of solder to connect maybe a little bridge, and then cover it with a little bit of resin to keep it safe. Really depends on how bad it is. Usually I'll just completely replace the trace with a tiny little thin wire, which I have just oodles and oodles of different sizes of wire, like coated wires. Let's see. Got wires covered in silicone, bare copper wire. So I'm ready to repair some stuff. And have several occasions I have a Game Gear that I love dearly, despite its lack of games, and I basically had to rebuild half the motherboard. The thing was so damaged. Now a bunch of tools fell over. Now I can't get this back in the drawer. In the drawer, go get. Oh, there's a sanding in my face. Come on. There we go. Oh yeah, you gotta have a drawer of various sized wires. Like that's just necessary. You can't call it a home without a drawer full of various sized wires. So let's put this board away for now. I'm gonna start taking this one apart. I think these shoulder buttons are okay. I might have to look around because I thought I had ordered replacement shoulder buttons for Game Boy Advance SP. Oh, I have like a pile of parts from various stages of different projects. I actually have this old Gateway laptop that I'm trying to repair, that the video card has gone bad, and I actually managed to get a Radeon chip, like new, like a brand new chip to put on it, which is just way too much work for just this random, not even really historically important or even noteworthy piece of equipment. But I don't know, I just feel compelled to fix it just because I found it at some garage sale for like $10. All right, let me put this to the side. Hold this for me, Sazabi. Thank you. Start the battery pack. Check this out. So, and something interesting I noticed right away, which I should point out. I don't know if it's going to focus on it so you guys can see this, but check this out. So this Game Boy Advance SP, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's really faint, but this one has a Motorola CPU, not an ARM. Or is that the sound chip? Hold on, wait. No, yeah, that's a CPU. So yeah, this has got a Motorola, not an ARM. It's pretty interesting. keep going. These screws out. This mat's kind of got these little cubby holes in it. It's very handy for keeping screws in. Let's see, I think there's just the 5 here to get in. Take these off. I don't want to lose these. So let's see if we can't. Up, there we go. 2. There we go. 3. And 4. And then, of course, we took the 5th one out here. Okay. Back panel just comes off. Make sure we don't lose any of the parts. Our little switches and things. Let's see. You can see the USB-C little mod I added. Just picked that up at, I think I picked that at Handheld Legends, I think is where I picked that one up. Hashtag not sponsored. Also, if Handheld Legend wanted to reach out with a sponsorship, wouldn't say no. Little silicon pads. So you might be wondering, like, oh, if he has these mechanical switches in the Game Boy Advance SP, why do you have these little silicon pads? They actually kind of, because usually you'll have like a little silicon pad, and on one side you'll have like a conductive material, like graphite. And so when you push a button on most handhelds, it'll push that pad down, that graphite, onto some traces on the board, like we were just talking about, and make a connection. That's how it registers a button press. But these have mechanical switches. So what these actually do is they're kind of like springs. They help keep the I think, I don't know, maybe they protect the button from the plastic. I don't actually know. If anyone ever finds out the reason why these little pads are used, let me know. Like the real reason. I actually went and got a nice fan, or not fan. Yes, this is a fan. No, a nice speaker for this Game Boy, because since I wasn't going to be adding the Bluetooth module to it, I might as well have nice sound. Come on. Get out here, you little silly buttons. I really like these translucent purple buttons. I think they're really cool. But they are a pain. If you drop them on the floor, you can't find them. Well. Oh, good. I thought it like shot off into the stratosphere. Come here, you little guy. Keep you with your friends. Go. And let's see. Oh, this board had a broken clip on the connector here, so I need to replace this connector. If we do replace the connector on it. Oh, looks like I put new buttons on this one too. Oh, is that button broken? Oh no, it's just really stiff. Well, those are super stiff too. Do you think they're springboards for the buttons? Yeah, I think so too. Let's go. Yeah, these start and select buttons don't feel great. I might have to change those out too. But our main problem is this is broken. But I need to look at the board, so I gotta pull it out anyways. Did I glue this in place because it was broken? I might have. No, I don't think I did. Just really tight. Just be very gentle with it. I don't want to break off what's left of this connector. But if we get this board working, I don't mind stealing connector off another one of the boards. The problem is it's all plastic and has a ton of little connectors. So if we do break it, or if we do change this out, it's going to be very hard to do it without melting the plastic. You know, I just realized, since the camera's right here, I'll let you guys see a little bit better. Zooming in. Hey, Royce, welcome in. Look, everybody, it's Royce. Royce is a big retro gamer. You ever seen the inside of a Game Boy Advance? Oh, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Oh, I cannot get this off. I might have glued this in place. This might be permanently affixed. I might have gotten... Actually, thinking about it, I might have got super frustrated and glued it in place. Okay, well, we're just going to have to work around that, chat. Let's see. So this thing just dies mid-loading a game. What could cause that? Maybe we have bad connector. Oh. Let's check this out. So remember I was talking about broken traces? So here, this trace from this capacitor to the volume knob. Let me see. We can get this to focus. Come on, focus. Ah! It hates me. Anyways, so this little copper wire here, I had to install from here to here because this trace exploded when I was replacing this bad capacitor. Actually, one thing, if you have a Game Boy Advance SP and the sound goes bad or stops working entirely, it's usually this capacitor right here that goes bad because this is right, like tied right into the sound of the whole system. So these capacitors, I don't know if probably wasn't intentional, but Nintendo, I guess, had a bad batch of these guys, you know, or they just hit their shelf life. I mean, they don't last forever, the electrolytic capacitors, and it probably just was its time. I mean, the Game Boy Advance SP is pretty old at this point, but yeah, these electrolytic capacitors, one of the few in the whole system, go bad, and they'll take out the area around it because that fluid that's in there is acidic. Or is it basic? I think it's acidic. The inside of a battery is acidic, isn't it? Yeah, battery acid. And so these capacitors go bad and they destroy things related to the sound. And if they're not in place, even if they don't destroy stuff, they're very important for the sound to work at all. So if this goes, you don't get sound anymore. That's our volume knob here. Oh, the volume knob on this one's pretty ragged too. Oh man, all these Game Boy Advance SPs I have are in such bad shape. Trying to think of what we can do to start looking at this, because it's pretty... Like, I thought the only thing that was wrong with this one was these little shoulder buttons were not working, but the fact it just froze midway loading the game. It could be the game, actually. You know what? I haven't done. I haven't actually looked at the game itself. This copy of Castlevania. Let's open it up and just check. Maybe this SP is actually fine and working. So before we just destroy it, trying to get to the insides. Let's try opening up this Castlevania game. You're gonna laugh. This is the only Game Boy Advance SP game I have, or the Game Boy Advance game I have. almost my entire collection is regular Game Boy games or Game Boy Color games. It's usually one of those tri-wing bits. It's the right bit. Yep. Just change that out. Let's see. What do we got inside? Gosh, I don't even remember where I got this Castlevania game. Looks pretty good. Oh, contacts are super clean. Yeah, it's definitely an official board. You can tell by the way it uses the official Nintendo fonts on the silkscreen, and it's got these extra markings here on the corner of the board that if you were doing a bootleg you'd never bother with, unless it was like a fan bootleg. But no, this is an official cartridge. Pretty sure. A Hyundai ROM chip. It looks like someone replaced the battery, because that's a pretty new battery. Oh, maybe it's not 0104. Oh! Interesting. Maybe that's the original battery still in it. Now the cart looks good, so maybe it is the SP. Oh, where's the back? This back together. So it's looking good. Yep. I'm actually really looking forward to giving this game a try. I heard Circle of the Moon is pretty good, but the other one I heard is better. The other Game Boy Advance one, the Aria of Sorrow. Ah. Ooh, the battery is causing the green screen effect. I like the green screen effect. Oh, the battery barely does it though. Not very well. Just kind of like the edges. Oh no, the back does it pretty well. We actually, so chat, if you notice, under here is actually some circuit boards. So I have some raw unprocessed silicon wafers, and I used a microscope to take some pictures of it, and this is one of the pictures I took. Is what you see behind the green screen. Okay, back to this guy. I want to try loading. Now I'm paranoid. I want to try loading the game one more time. Let's just pop the shell back on. We're not gonna screw it down, but we're gonna pop it back in. Pop a battery in it. Oh. Come here. Oh. Castlevania game. Oh yeah, so this screen has some interesting bits to it. It has actually a touch screen. You notice when I was touching it, it changed colors. So I have to be careful when I touch the thing. It'll change the setup. Let's see. I just realized I don't have a really good way to push the... Oh, here we go. This will work. Uh-oh. That's not supposed to happen. There we go. That's better. Yeah, it's definitely having a bad day. I wonder if maybe it's something simple, like maybe it doesn't like the card slot. Maybe the actual card slot itself is busted. Oh. Now it wanted to load the game. I think it froze. Yeah, I think it froze it. Let's try Mega Man one more time. Because I know this Mega Man cartridge works. See, it's times like this, chat. I wish I had a working Game Boy Advance SP. I should work on getting one. Oh, hey, it booted up right away. Can't get movement to work. Is that because it just doesn't like... Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I didn't push the buttons far enough. Ah! Oh, I'm gonna die. No! Shoot the buster. Oh. I think maybe it only works on startup that it's supposed to do that. So when you hit the shoulder buttons when you're playing a Game Boy game on a Game Boy Advance SP, it's supposed to change the resolution, like to widescreen, or to keep it in this little square here. But that doesn't seem to be the case. So I think we definitely have broken shoulder buttons on this. So we should at least replace the shoulder buttons. Let's see, let's not mess with the screen. All right, so first thing, I gotta find if I have any replacement shoulder buttons, like new ones that I know work, because I don't want to put, you know, unknown quality, do they not work buttons in there. That's just a recipe for a sad day and disappointment and a lot of work for nothing. Let's see. I got all kinds of stuff over here. Got like speakers, like button pads, just just a roll of buttons for Game Boys to roll the switches. Here's a bunch of miscellaneous parts for a Game Boy case. Oh, Bluetooth module. Check this out. Yeah, so this is a little Bluetooth module. You can get these on like Amazon. They're really easy to wire up. They just have a bunch of connectors where the... Come on, camera. Work with me here. I'm trying to inform the public. Yeah, you see those little connectors over on this side? They're all labeled on the actual board itself what they do, and you can just wire them up. It's real easy to use. There's a ton of tutorials on it on YouTube. CD-ROM drives, floppy disk drives, 2-part epoxy resin. Oh yeah, so I used some Game Boy game cases to hold screws and parts from the different Game Boy Advance SP projects I've been working on. Screens, covers. Oh, here's a completely busted Game Boy Advance SP screen. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like the liquid crystal display is cracked and it's starting to leak. Rings. No, it looks like I don't have any more shoulder buttons for a Game Boy Advance SP. I could have swore I ordered a bunch. Darn it. That's a shame. Here's some shoulder buttons, not the little switches. Well, I'll put that on the list. Oh, they call this a lens, by the way. If you're wondering what this thing is, this is a lens. This is what goes in the over top of the screen to protect it. Well, our other options then are to try to steal some shoulder buttons from one of these units. Which, this is just a shell. It doesn't have anything in it. Oh, here we go. From this one. But I don't know if the shoulder buttons work in it. This is just completely disassembled, so I think these are broken though, because they don't feel very springy. Click, 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 click. Yeah, they're not very clicky. Let's get you out of here. Let's see if we can reassemble this guy and see how it how well it works. See if its shoulder buttons work. If its shoulder buttons work, we might steal them. What's the state of your repair? I mean, I might just steal the board out of this one. This might have the best board anyways. Oh, I remember. So this one had a problem. So these little coils here have to do, they clean the signal to the audio, and they're kind of gross. So the audio sounds kind of distorted out of this guy. But that might be the only thing wrong with this board. There's also some extra bits and bobs I've installed. There's a really cool screen in this one. You know what I think we should do? Let's try to cobble this one into a state of somewhat togetherness so I can test it. And then, since I bought a new case, and I'll just peel this off and glue it on. How on there is that? Well, that's not too bad. I can get that off later. So what I'll do is if we can... Oh, it's even got the USB-C mod on there already. Yeah, so I think what we'll do... Let's see, before we go on our break, let's check this guy out. Let's see if we can... See what kind of state it's in as far as the playability goes. And if it's in a pretty good state, all the buttons work and everything, I think we should just take this shell apart, ditch all the extra stuff that I tried to add that's causing it to not work, like the extra like audio stuff, and see if we can get a working SP out of like the parts that are in this, and if we need to, steal some stuff from these other boards. Where did this come from? Oh well. Yeah, let's do that. So let's see if I can get this shell back together. I don't want to crush this little cable that's in here, because it's necessary for the screen to work right. Okay, you can see how long it's been since I worked on this. It's like dust and grime that have like come through the holes. Now this might... If I can get the screen connected, it might just work as is. Oh, it's... So one of the worst parts about working on these Game Boy Advance SPs is they're so well put together, and there's no room for anything. It's just everything's in there so compact. I almost kind of wish I had went with a Game Boy Advance instead of a Game Boy Advance SP, because I feel like modding a Game Boy Advance is like would be so much easier. But the cool thing about the Game Boy Advance SP is they're so tiny. Well, it's kind of, you knew what you were getting into when you signed up for it, kind of thing. Get over there. Yeah, I forget what this little cable's for, but it has something to do with the screen. Something to do with how the screen gets controlled, I think. Because like I was showing you, the other one had touch feedback, where you touch it and it changes things. But I think this screen kit, there's a little different screen kit by a different company. It functions differently. Excellent. Wait, does this go on top? Shoot. No, it goes under. All right. I'm just going to push this to the side because I don't want it to get broken. Okay, I think that goes under. Does it? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Just need to get it together long enough to do a test. Sorry you can't see what I'm doing, chat. Oh, this is so nerve-wracking. This little cable is like so fragile too. Not even that tiny cable, but the one next to it, the one I'm actually trying to plug in, is super fragile. I kind of hate these ribbon cables. Like, just dealing with these ribbon cables is... Oh. Oh, I think I got it in. No! Aww. Let's go. Come on. Get in there. Come on. Oh, I think it's in all the way. I just gotta get the... It won't close. Uh-oh. Alright, maybe I got something in the wrong place. Oh, I see. It's like, yeah, there we go. It's like one side doesn't like to go in, the other one's not seated properly. I think that's in as far as I think it's gonna go. All right. Let's get a battery in this guy. Let's see if we get it to load Castlevania. Get my thumb in there. So jank, I know, chat. Let's see. Oh, no power at all. No power whatsoever. That's not good. Sign. You can see just nothing. Alright, without a cartridge in it. No, nothing. Just dead or Rooney. So I put the battery in wrong. Did I put the battery in wrong? No? Let's try something. Get you out of there. Board off the... Let's see, is anything holding it in? Something's holding it down. Can't seem to get it to come up. I don't want to pull too hard. Oh, I heard a little click. Alright, yeah, you can see where I tried wiring in that, those extra, I actually made this little circuit board here. And all these tiny little wires. And I just filled it with like hot glue, trying to get it to stay in place. And epoxy actually no, that's epoxy resin. So yeah, this was this was a pain trying to get all this to work. But again, it didn't in the end, so Castlevania goes in. Let's try putting the battery this way. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I think we got a dead board. The power switch is bad. That could be possible. Let's try a different battery just in case. Nothing. Dead as a doornail. That's so sad. All right, let's take this. Let's pop this off. Let's take our Castlevania game out of there first. Oh, I need a drink. Hold on a second, chat. Oh yeah, chat, you've never actually seen my water bottle. This is what I have with me when I stream. This big old water bottle. So I can stay plenty hydrated. Come on. There we go. Break this one. All right. I should try taking all these mods off and see if the board works just by itself. All right, we'll do that when we come back from break. So let's go ahead and take our 15, everybody. Get ourselves some snacks, some water, go hug our loved one, check our Discord messages, cuddle a pet, text a friend. You know, all that normal jazz. And I'll see y'all back here in 15 minutes, okay, everybody? Let me go ahead and get my watch ready. I actually took my watch off so I could, it would show up on the... Actually, I wonder. Hold on. Put my watch on. See if it shows up on the chroma with the chroma key, because it's got a green band, but it's not super green. It's kind of a dark green. See my Hit-Boy interface. Oh, that looks wild on the. That looks really wild on screen. That's so cool. I really like the way that looks. All right, 15 minutes, and then when we get back, we'll take this guy apart. And we'll see if we can get it working just standalone, get it to at least power on. And if we can't, we'll see if we can take some of the parts off this one, put it onto the one that we at least got to boot. We'll go from there. All right, I'll see you all in 15 minutes, chat. Don't go anywhere. Hey chat, welcome back. Hope everyone's doing lovely. What kind of snacks did everyone get while they were gone? I actually realized I can show you my snack. I got premium chocomont. They're these little Korean snacks. They're like little chocolate mushrooms, although mine got a little deformed. But they're really delicious. Mmm. Mmm. Playing with your beavers. I'm afraid to ask what that means. Let's go. So, chat, I figure it's time we get started actually doing some solder work. So I went and turned my iron on. Here's my soldering iron. And one thing you always want to do, a game called Timberborn. Oh, that's cool. One thing you always want to do. So I've got my solder here, got my soldering iron, and you want to make sure you got a little solder on your tip. You just get a little solder on there and roll it around. Because they call this tinning, and it keeps the tip from oxidizing, which makes sure that it's always got good heat transfer. Then I got this little metal sponge here, and I just wipe it off on the sponge so there's no excess. And then we've got a tip ready to go to use to do stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start taking some of these wires off. Hopefully we don't need any solder or flux, because I don't really need it to flow, I just need to heat up. Oh, I might have a bad... This tip might not be good for this. Oh, no, there it goes. This is a really fine tip, so it's good at delivering heat to a very, very small area, but not so much. Yeah, it might be too... This board's got a lot of stuff on it. It actually wicks the heat away pretty well. I might need to turn my iron's heat up. I've got it at 550 Fahrenheit. Let's go 625. I don't want to go too high. I might have to change the tip to something a little broader. So the broader the tip, the more surface areas it has to transfer the heat on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, turn it up. Fix the issue. Uh-oh, where are you connected to? I'll have to take you off too. The world. There we go. Let's reconnect this. We're gonna try to... Oh, shucks. I was gonna say, we're gonna try to save this mod here. This is a amplifier to make it sound better and louder, but it might also be part of my problem. Ow! Got some hot solder on my hand there. Pro tip, don't get hot solder on your hands. Chat, I don't know if you knew this, but liquid hot metal's really hot. Just so you know. Okay, we've got all these wires off. Now I like to tin my tip when I start, and also when I'm done, or when I'm going to stop using my iron for 15 minutes or longer. Because again, I've had these same tips for a very long time, and I take very good care of them. I mean, they'll eventually need to be replaced, but oh, they've been pretty good for quite a while. I've got this cool little Weller soldering station over here. I got this little stand for it, which actually has a sponge. You can put water on it. I never really use the sponge, though. I'll just turn that off and let it cool down. Oops. Forgot to plug in the power for my Surface over here that I'm using to monitor the stream while I work. Okay, let's move this stuff to the side. Get it out of our way. And roll our solder back up. This little solder roller is really cool. Just pull your solder out as you need it. On this big giant roll of solder I have. Very convenient. Oh, I didn't get any AA batteries to show you guys the Game Boy Light. I'm sorry. I should tack this back down. I either take it all the way off or leave it on all the way. Let's wait for the soldering iron to heat back up. Go. Down. I'm not a huge fan of the design of this, how it's... I gotta bridge that with solder. I mean, they don't have a lot of space to work with right here, so I get it. Okay. Tenor. Tip again. Take care of our tips, chat. That's today's tip. Take care of your tip. Don't let your tips go untended. An untended tip is a sad tip. We don't like sad tips around here. We are very firmly anti-sad tip. Okay, so we've got this mod here that's supposed to clean up the audio some, because it's just got this. Let me explain real quick. So there's this big bank of capacitors here that all the electricity for the audio system runs through. It's supposed to clean it up because there's a flaw in some of in the Game Boy Advance SPs where they hum real bad if you turn them up real loud. And so since we have an amp mod that lets us turn up louder, we need this basically to clean it up some. So I think my lights might be a little too bright. Let me check something here. Come here. Aw, thank you for the posture check, Lisco. Let me turn the brightness down a little. I've got a fill light here. There we go. Maybe that was a little too much. turn it up a little bit. There we go. But yes, thank you for the posture check. I'm actually in a very nice, comfortable, seated position. One of the nice things about this workbench is it's an actual bench I can sit at, so I get nice posture. And I don't want to lean forward too far because I don't want to stick my face under the camera by accident. Woo! Need some 3D glasses, chat. Woo! It looks so funny when I see it in the replay. All right, let's see if I can get any life out of this thing at all. Is this on there? I remember the last one was loose. Okay, that's on there, good. Let's see if taking all that stuff off makes it turn on. No, it's still not doing anything. The other battery. So you know what? Where's that? Where's this guy? Oh no, I need its back. Where'd I put the back? Oh, here it is. Let's see. On is forward, so that should be off. And that should be on. Off, on, off, on. Nope. Nada. Sad. Yeah, this one's just not going anywhere. All right, well, I guess we know what that means, chat. We are going to try to use the stuff off of this board to make this board, to make this Game Boy work. Let's move our batteries off camera here. All right, so let's move these guys over here so they're not getting knocked around everywhere. I want to rescue this. Let's see if we can rescue the mods. Oh. Busted button stuck to the bottom of that. Let's see. I want to see if I can rescue the rest of the mods out of this guy here. Out of the screen. So to do that, we're going to need to take the screen apart. That there. Gotta get under these little rubber guys so I can. Those probably are not going to be reusable. I mean, this whole case is kind of broke up, so I might not even really. I shouldn't give too much thought to getting things out of this case. Be able to pull, or sorry, wait, skipped a step. What kind of screws are these? These are tri-wings again? All right, let's get our tri-wing bit. don't want to lose you. Go. Got our tri-wing bit. Let's get our these. Oh, too big. Let's go down one size. There we go. Perfect. Why I'm frowning. We're having a good time. We're just here chilling, having fun, taking part of Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance SP even. Just because just because most of our stuff is busted doesn't mean we should be sad. Just an opportunity for more fun fixing it. Isn't that right, chat? Well, that one's in there real tight. Now, if I remember correctly, to get everything to fit in this housing, I think I glued it together, so we're probably going to need to get a little creative pulling it apart. And by creative, I mean destructive. Aw, yay! Thank you for the head pads. Let's go. I appreciate it. Aw. Oh, ah. I think the new case is going to come with screws, but just in case we're going to... Oh, is that all of them? Oh, no, one more. Uh-oh. That is not a tri-wing. That is an actual Phillips. But we'll try to preserve these screws in case we need them. But I think the new one had a whole pack of its own screws. After I get a working Game Boy Advance SP, I might take all the leftover parts and just throw them in a little container. And then banish it to the Shadow Realm, because I never want to work on a Game Boy Advance SP again after this. You can tell it just by how long I left this project idle. How frustrated it made me. Working on the original Game Boy is really fun. I highly recommend if anyone wants to get into modding of Game Boys, start with the original. I know they're kind of hard to come by these days. Like, people want to charge an arm and a leg for them. But start with ones that are broken. Try to fix them. And then once you get it fixed, you can start modifying it, making it custom. I think they're a lot of fun. And it's just like the Game Boys just have this really cool aesthetic I love about them. So I'm not exactly being the gentlest because, again, this case is already pretty mangled. But I don't want to damage the screen. The actual screen that's inside is very usable. And is basically the whole reason we're taking this apart is we want that. We want that screen. We want to salvage it. So I've got other screens we can use, but I want to use this one. In progress. There we go. Save this for later. Gonna have to salvage that and recover it. Because yeah, I can't find anyone who makes these anymore, so I definitely need to make sure I keep that safe. Okay, so if we look inside here, we can see we have that mod that I did to add a... Here, let's see, what is this? Zoom in. So let me zoom in. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. So this is that mod that I was telling you about for the headphone jack. And it's wired into the board, into the Bluetooth module, so it can share the audio signals. And here's, I put a little LED in here to tell you when the Bluetooth module was came on or off. And then I had the controlling wires going through here, back to the board, back to this switch here that I built. I just realized most of that was off camera. Let's see. Yeah, so what we're gonna need to do is just take all this stuff out, disconnect these connectors here, and then liberate the screen from this housing. We're gonna have to disassemble this this hinge assembly, because I need the hinges back too, which I hope I can recover the hinges. The hinges are like so hard to get out once you install them. But I need the hinges. And we have to get this whole assembly apart anyways to recover the cables, or these ribbon cables. Let's get this screw while we're in here. Come on, there we go. Liberate that. Let's just try lifting the screen. Well, first let's disconnect these ribbon cables. Ah. Let's see, how does that come apart? I think it lifts up, and this can come out. There we go. Okay. Got that out of there. Just pull this tape off. Oh. Oh, the whole thing's coming off. Oh, did this get glued on there? Oh, nope, we're good. I thought we had gotten the glue stuck here. All right. Oh, I think we got the screen out. Ah, there we go. There. I gotta clean this off. Got some grime or something right here I need to clean up, but there we go. Get a little isopropyl alcohol and we can clean that up real quick. Do that in a minute. Set that to the side. All right, I gotta get the hinges off. Oh boy. Trying to adjust the zoom here. Didn't mean to zoom all the way out. To zoom a little way out. There we go. That's good. Let's see. Since we're not reusing this case, I'm not super concerned if these caps get destroyed. Oh, I bent my shoot. I bent my my tweezers. There we go. Bent them back. All right. Fine then, little jerk Game Boy. What other tools do I have over here for such a purpose? Oh, I got this guy. Let's see if this will help any. Oh man, that is in there. Let's go back to the tweezers. Yeah, it's just, they're just getting bent. Whoop. It's been a while since I took the hinges out of a Game Boy Advance SP. I might be doing something wrong. Let's stop and think. Do they push out? Aha! They do. Oh yeah, that was not coming out. Huh. I was not pulling that cap off. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. These caps slide on. They slide on sideways. That. Alright, so, by the way, the hinges are actually left-right keyed. So, you gotta remember, this one came out of this side. I'll put it over here, chat. Oh, that's right. There's a screw here. Check that out, chat. A little screw. Oh, does that zoom do anything? Oh yeah, that zooms a lot. So you can see there's a little screw here we have to take out. That lets us into the get this last piece of the shell off. Forgot about that little guy. Now, yep, that's how you get that off. That piece right there. Okay, I'll just set this over here in the pile of parts. The pile of broken dreams. Okay, now that actually should be enough to let us get the cables out, but I want to get the hinge completely off because, again, we need the hinges. There we go. All right. So, also black, by the way, annoyingly enough. So I want to put this one over here on the right. All right. So, housing. All right. Now we can get this out real easy. Just slide this out. Okay. Rescued. Cable. And rescue. All right. Now this poor Bluetooth module. I'll rescue it later. Let's stick this in here. Just so we don't lose it. That there, like that. We can throw this shell into there. All right, and you know, just so this all stays together in one piece, I'm gonna throw one of these screws in there. Where's that tri-wing? Just had it. Where'd it go? This. Are you kidding me? Come on. I'll use the tool correctly, chat. Sorry. That's a tri-wing, right? Oh, tri-wing screw didn't want to go in. It kept getting misthreaded. There we go. All right, now it's together. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna lose these little bumpers. So some of the parts on this case are still salvageable, so I don't want to just completely destroy it, like the buttons and stuff. Which actually, I don't know if I have more of these black buttons. I think the case itself comes with gold buttons. So let's be careful not to lose that. Okay, so we got our ribbon cables, we got our salvaged, got a board with parts on it we can use. Now, our soldering iron should have cooled down enough we can change the tip out. So, just unscrew this here. Lift that off. Now you got to be very, very, very careful doing this. You may, because I think it's cool, but I made sure this ring was at least cool. We're just gonna dump this over here. Actually, let's not dump it on our lens cap for our microscope. Let's put that back. Let's see. I got a couple tips here. This one's probably too. Now this is a chisel tip. It's like really big, not really useful for what we want to do. This is a super thin tip, but I've bent it at the end, so I can get really fine, or I can put the full bent part down and get more heat on the part if I need to. So that's actually kind of a very, despite it being so long and thin, it's pretty versatile tip, but we're not going to use that one. We're going to use this medium-sized tip. Oh, I can still feel the heat coming off that. Yeah, so it's still very hot. So let's be very careful putting that back on there. Make sure not to touch anything that could harm us. Oh, thank you, Lisco. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to take these mods off the board. So this guy and this guy. We'll start with this guy. Let's go ahead and get our iron back on. Let's put our iron in its hole, in its little home. I'll put these tips away. This battery piece over there with the rest of that shell. I might get a known good working Game Boy SP to reuse this shell. I really like this shell, the clear shell with purple buttons. I like it a lot. Okay, here we go. So, like before, reach over and grab our solder. Now, normally I don't recommend doing this over your piece you're working on, so let's move that out of the way. And I say normally, like I'm not about to recommend it. Yeah, don't tin your tips over your workpiece, because solder can drip, it can splatter, get on what you're working on, cause shorts, damage things. It's generally not a good idea. All right. So now that we've got a lot more surface area, this should just evaporate immediately. Oh yeah. Let's see. I think it's connected here. Here. All right. Over here with these other little cables. Let's so this guy's held on here, 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 and here. So I might want to do this. Maybe use this one instead. I remember this being a real pain in the butt to get in place the first time. Go. Again, not a whole lot of room to work on in these things, so a lot of these mods like use these cable flexible PCBs, and it makes getting in and out of it difficult, but it's what you gotta do to make them fit, right? So can't really complain. Oh, yeah, there we go. We would have never got that off with that other tip. There we go. Okay. Whew. This guy's been through heck. Straighten that out a bit. So okay. We got a dehum mod. I'm just gonna put that right there because it's covered in the underside of it's just covered in flux. Okay. Looks like all we have to desolder right now until we get to the buttons. Gonna go ahead and tin our tip one more time. And put it away. Oh, USB-C mod, but I think we have that on the other board anyway, so all right. Oh, actually, I think I know what's wrong with this one. Now that I've got board free, I think I can see something. I think I remember trying to repair this one. I don't know if that's hot. I'm just gonna move that with tweezers. Not our fingers. Because we like having our fingers having all the skin on them and none of it removed by extreme amounts of heat. Come on, microscope camera. All right, microscope camera. You gotta be like this. It literally waited until I stood up. This stupid thing. Waited until I stood up to come on. Anyways. So. I think I tried fixing this one. Yeah. Let me look itself through the microscope. Get it set up for you guys so you can see it. Let's see. Yep, I've been in here before trying to fix this. Put this back on PC camera. So, turn this off and back on again. So if you guys notice, these pins here have all been touched up with a little bit of solder, because I noticed that these pins were loose and not connected to the board correctly, and just kind of did a slapdash repair on them, not really taking my time. It's really sloppy. So, oh, thank you, let's go. But yeah, I'll have to come back and fix that. Actually, I might use this as a good one just to completely like take the CPU off entirely. Let's put this away. So, I bet those pins aren't making good connections, or maybe something shorted right there, or whatever caused those pins to be loose in the beginning caused the whole thing just to eventually die. Actually, you might not be able to see this on camera. Let me zoom in as best I can. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, let me get rid of the microscope. Let's see. Can you focus, camera? Let's see. Focus. You gonna focus for us, camera? It's probably not gonna focus. But so I noticed there's this bow in the piece here. It's like bowing on this edge here. Like this corner is coming this way. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. So there's like a curve. It's almost like the board's curved, like concave, like this. Kind of like, it's like this kind of shape. So I think that's what's caused, like the board is warped and caused some of these pins to get disconnected on the CPU. And I bet, even if it's not these ones that I fixed already, that maybe another pin somewhere on the processor has gone kaputs. Or even, I don't know what this chip is. This could be, I want to say it's memory, like the RAM. I want to say that's the RAM. Could be the, one of the pins that on the memory here is bad. I'm gonna have to take the whole thing apart. Also, notice on this model, by the way, you remember I pointed out those on the other board, this, like right here and right here are these coils for the audio. In this board, you'll notice same, what are these, both Motorola's? Yeah, both Motorola CPUs, different chip manufacturers for the memory. Yeah, this is, what is this, Hitachi? No, ST. Yeah, whoever ST is, looks like a Taiwanese company. And then AMIC And then they have different, this little coil's different. So this one has a coil, this one doesn't. Let's see, this is CPU 01. I can't tell what this is because it's got the sticker over it. Oh, also, I don't know if y'all eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed, this board still has the sticker on it for the water damage. And notice it's turned red. And that was before I messed with it. Come on, focus. Oh, it's so hard to do this, like, with a few seconds delay. There we go. So you see how it's the red around the polka dots? I'm pretty sure that means that it's gone off. That's the water damage sticker. And so I think this board got water damaged, which might explain why it's curved. Because it might have gotten water in the layers of the board and it warped it. Maybe. I don't know where these things were before I got a hold of them, so who can say? Who can really say? All right, how are we gonna get this out? It's really, what was the... We really only needed the buttons, though, wasn't it? The shoulder buttons? Oh, yeah, because this has also got the bad screen connector. Yeah. All right. Let's just start with replacing the buttons on this guy. So we're going to have to get those buttons off. All right, let's get some solder wick. So what this stuff is, for the uninitiated, this is solder wick. And you can see I've been using it, so it's got solder stuck in it. So what you do is you heat it up the solder and you stick this on it or next to it, and it'll suck it up like a sponge. Or a wick, as the name, you know, it does what it says on the tin. Cut this piece off. It's just trash. And to help this flow, we're going to take this stuff here. This is flux, and what this does is it prevents oxidation and helps the liquid metal to flow where we want it to go. Zoom out a bit. Yeah. Let's see. Where do we start? So these shoulder buttons are connected on the underside. Or I should say, oh, this is the underside, but it's all, I always think of this as the top side because it's the CPU, but it doesn't. It's actually the underside. The inside the shell side. Oh, I wish I could take this screen off. This is really unpleasant to deal with. Oh, wait a minute. If our whole goal is to put this inside the gold case, we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to take this off, and we're gonna have to, like, disconnect this screen. Ah, boy. Let's think about this for a second, chat. So we'd have to replace this connector. How do we place the connector without melting everything else? Oh, that's gonna be difficult. Let's see. So we got our bent board that we just took out of the gold one. And we have this other board here that's got the it's got the janky messed up connectors and no charging port at all. Does it even power on? Let's see. Oh, look at that, chat. Oh, I had a light on for a second. Oh, you know what? There's some life in this thing. I think this, because this power connector is all messed up, it's having problems. But this board actually might be more salvageable. Trying to think of why this power switch is so janky. Or it doesn't look warped. That's good. Oh, hey, check this out, chat. Looks like someone replaced that electrolytic capacitor with a solid state capacitor, so that's nice. We don't have to worry about it exploding later. Oh, this thing's gone through some major repairs. What if the volume even works at all? I just noticed too, it's got like a globs of solder here. Yeah. Well, we could use this as our test dummy to try to get this connector off. Well, actually, no, let's think smarter about this. So what's broken on the other connector is this lever piece here across the top. So what if we just took that lever off, this one? Or even, not even this one, we take it off the one we know is just dead and has a lot of other major problems with it. Let me see, let me look at this thing up close. Sorry if this feels like it's all over the place, chat. This is kind of how this kind of stuff goes. Let's see. Let's move this up some. I mean, need to be super zoomed in. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Let's go. Actually, that's a great idea. I need to get some water in me. All right, let's... What happens when I try to get under here? Really don't want to break this connector. Well, yeah, let's just go for it. We're gonna go for it, chat. We're gonna try to take this little door off and see what happens. Let's go slowly at it. It is old plastic, so we really don't want to make it angry. Old plastic has a tendency to go kablooey easily. But if we can get it out, we can transplant it into the other one, and that will make our lives way easier. Try to insert our tweezers in here. Got it, chat. We got one of them. Just gotta get the other without breaking anything. Ooh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. We got this, chat. We got this. We got this. Oh, come on. Let's try this way. Ow. Poked myself. Come on. Let's not push the other one back in place. How y'all doing over there, chat? Are y'all as nervous as I am? Are you holding your breath? I'm holding my breath. Come on. You know you want to come off. You want to go live on a working motherboard. You don't want to live on this broken motherboard. Oh, come on. So close to getting it off here. I just don't want to lift too hard and break it. Other one out. Got it. We did it. We did it, chat. It came off. All in one piece. Didn't break. Oh, boy. Woo. All right, I'm going to give myself another hydrate after that. Oh, thank you. Let's go. Thank you for the head pats. Woo. Shoulder toss that board. Oops. Shoulder toss the wick. We might need that still. All right, battery. Go over here. All right, now we can just pull this one apart with impunity, essentially. I mean, I want to break the cable, but I can totally just break this off. I don't even... This little plastic bit off. I don't even... Oh, yeah. That's all that was left of that one. Just a little end piece, and I can see a little bit of super glue fuzz on it. So yeah, I did just glue it in place. Gosh, what a hack. All right, we got this little cable here connecting this, so we gotta pull that out. We gotta pop that off too. So I'm turning my soldering iron on. Gotta wait for it to heat up. I've seen some newer soldering irons. Like I've got this nice Weller, hashtag not sponsored, soldering iron kit set thing. But it does take a little while to heat up. I mean, not a super long time. But I've seen these other ones that are just like instant heat. They're pretty rad. Kind of want one. Actually, they're also really tiny. They're like pen size. They're like battery operated somehow. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Not tiny wires. If I don't, there we go. So what this wire does is this wire connects to this light button, and so with this screen, that button controls different functionality of the mod screen. I'll run that through. Nope. Gonna tin the tip again just to be safe. I know I used it for 5 seconds, but I don't know. A couple extra seconds of tinning the tip versus the tip, you know, having a small piece on it that's exposed and oxidizes and then ruins your tip. Spend a little bit of time now, save a lot of time later. Patience is a virtue. Why aren't you coming out, little cable? Oh, it's not coming out because the bar, I don't know if you guys can see this, but the bar, the little plastic bar that pushes the... So the way these connectors work is the ribbon cable goes in, and there's this bar right here. And what it does is it scoops up under the cable and presses it into the pins and locks it in place so it can't come out. But just that bar is now jammed in there. I gotta get it out. Should get it. Oh, little flakes of plastic and glue are popping up. Oh, that's in there. Good. That's not... That's a problem. No. Let's try to wedge this in here. Oh, I think I got it. There we go. Yep, got it. Oh. There's our culprit. And so it's real hard to see on camera. But I'll I'll put it in my palm and lift it up a little. So you can see it's kind of angled like a little triangle that scoops up under and pushes the cables in place. A ribbon cable here. Let's see, is our cable damaged at all? Nope, looks good. All right, so what's really nice about that then, and so we've got this working screen that's perfectly adequate and fine. We've got all the cabling and everything still works. Hinges and everything are fine. So what we can do is, when we do get another working board, we can just throw the board in, plug this stuff in, pop all the parts in, and shut it closed. Not a whole lot of work to be done, because we did all the work, the hard stuff, later, or earlier, not later. Time doesn't exist. Don't worry about it, chat. Past, present, future, it's kind of irrelevant. Okay, so now we've got this board out. We know it's got this weird issue with the volume slider. Most likely not functioning shoulder buttons. Watch you toss. Wow, that's a... I don't know if anyone in chat's going to get that reference. Good one, let's go. You know, I've actually been watching some older obscure anime. Well, not obscure. Old famous anime. Those buttons feel so good. I'm so sad this board is cooked. Oh wait, no, this board isn't cooked. This is the board we're going to be using. What am I saying? What am I doing, chat? My brain is on fire. All right. This is the one we're going to be using. It's got a little bit of a janky issue with the slider for the volume. Power slider seems fine. Let's feel good. We just got these shoulder buttons. So I think what we can do, we've already got that on there for the USB-C. Yeah. So let's get this on here. Should just be able to slide that into place. Right? Hold on. Before I put that back on, let's look at the other one. Let's look at this one. Let's make sure we got the orientation right. All right, so it's down. So that should be how it goes. And we'll just double check. It's how it is on this one. Yes. Okay. Go on into place. Oh yeah, there we go. Yes. All right. Great. Look at that, chat. We managed to salvage the clip. Great. That's awesome. That's so cool. All right. So, salvage the clip. So this is now working. I think what I'm going to do, since it's already 10:30, we'll call it here. I'm going to put this one over here. I need to mark this guy as our good board that we're going to be using. Do that real easy way. I probably should hit it with a marker or something, but closest thing I've got to me is some duct tape. So I'm going to just put a little piece of silver duct tape right here on the processor, so we know this is the one that we're working on. So let's go ahead and call things here. Since it is, like I said, it is 10:30, time to head home. And next Saturday, we'll pick up where we left off. And between now and then, I'm going to see if I can get some brand new of these switches, because these aren't Nintendo specific. Like, these are just some regular, like, four pin little 90-degree buttons. So I'm going to see if I can order some. And I'm going to look around my shop. I might actually have some laying around somewhere. Because I thought I ordered like a pack, like a bunch of them. I might have them in a drawer. One of my plastic containers over here. I'll have to look. And if I don't, I'll order some. It'd be good to have them on hand. Yeah, we'll call it here, chat. Let's go ahead and hit up our end screen. Well, thanks for coming out, everybody. I hope the debut of the new repair setup was a hit. I hope everyone had fun and enjoyed what we were doing. Let me go find us someone to raid and get our end credits running. I'll be right back. You know, I'm silly. I just remembered I have my Surface over here. The whole reason I brought it over here is so I could do this stuff from here instead of walk over to my PC. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, everyone. Thank you. Let's go. I appreciate you saying that. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed my new digs and the new stream idea. And hopefully we'll have a lot of fun in the future fixing consoles and playing games and doing all sorts of fun stuff. So, who's rateable? Who's streaming and rateable? Oh, there's so many people. Oh, Hiokaya's doing stuff. King Koru, Sai Slime. Oh, it's Donuts. Let's do It's Donuts. Where are you? Why can't I raid you? Donuts, why can't I raid you? ITZZ Donut. Oh, ITTZ. I can't spell, that's why. That's why. Alright, everyone. Thanks again. I will see y'all next time. Have a great evening. Bye-bye. Toodaloo. I hope everyone has a great rest of your weekend. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.